hard to get into some really deep conversations sometimes about different issues, because how do you bring them up? And then once you bring them up, where do you go from there? What Warrior Spirit Mission Homefront is a communication tool. What it does is it gives everybody the opportunity to share, to open up. It also gives the soldier or the veteran a chance to talk about their experiences with deployment at the same time as you're connecting deeply with each other, as you're exploring your own thoughts and feelings.
And made it fun, and you know, made you want to interact and talk.
I didn't feel like on the spot, right? You know, it's just dialogue, just talking. Right.
Couples, like when the soldier comes back from the deployment, if they could do this within the first week, what's the most difficult now that you're back home? Couples sometimes dance around that question, and if you say it then, it's like it's part of the game. They may be more open to say things, and since it's non-threatening, it's kind of like, be honest with me, and it may be a question that may never get asked. That could be the key to like keeping a relationship solid. These questions were very like to the heart for me as a soldier, and I'm glad I answered them.
You know, the questions helped bring up some things that he hadn't thought about in years, and so that was all new to me. We've been married 15 and a half years.
Not only for the soldiers, also for the wife. Like a lot of deep questions that there was one or two that kind of, when I answered, I guess whatever I said, kind of felt his eyes got watery because you know, he didn't think how hurt I was. Doing it as a game, you know, I didn't get into like an argument about it or anything. I just you know, said how I was feeling, you know, how I felt back then. It was good. So it kind of opened up.
Free counseling that they give you, I didn't like it at all. I found myself explaining myself. It was a counselor who was non-military, so I found myself explaining myself more than talking about what I felt or what I thought.
Right.
So by the time the free session, 10 free sessions they gave, I mean, I did 3 and I walked away. I was like, you know, I can't do this anymore.
Actually, this helped more than counseling.
Yeah, because I felt like I was explaining myself the whole time. How did you feel? What did you think when you saw this? When you know, there's some questions that you wish you were asked, and nobody got. Even my wife, there's some questions that she never got to ask. I was sure because she was afraid to ask, or because I was afraid that she knew I might not be ready to answer. So some of the questions were in here, and made me feel comfortable asking, especially in the environment.
We get stuck in routines, like day-to-day lives, that we think and we do the same way, the same thing every day. I notice that with my work. So I go to work, I come home, hey baby, I'm gonna eat dinner, watch some TV, take care of it, go to bed. You do that all the time, you know, there's not really too much room for other thoughts or these questions. You get stuck in that same rut of thought. And this broke up that monotony, that routine. I was like, you know what, it helped.
It's not so pointed that you feel like, you know, you're pressed into a corner. And Jose and I, we like to discuss things with each other, but we haven't had a continuous dialogue on so many various and different non-threatening questions. So we got to explore a little bit more of each other.
And oftentimes when we begin to communicate, what we do is we defend our position and not listen and to understand. And with this too, you're listening and you're not arguing, defending a position, but you're opening and doing some really honest listening and honest communicating, which strengthens you there and allows you to bring those things out. Very important.